Okay, what I am attempting to do here is demonstrate how to use TortoiseSVN, which is a version management system. What I've got is a directory that has 3 files in it that would represent perhaps a program that you're running. And what I will do is demonstrate how to include this in a SVN archive. So in this particular directory, I have an SPI, which is stands for Serial Peripheral Interface. It's a standard way for computers to talk to each other. And in that directory, I'm going to demonstrate how to put this into an archive or into an SVN archive. So I'm going to go to a top directory and I'm going to create a new folder. And I'm going to call it an archive. And in this archive, what I plan to do is to create an SVN archive. So right now, this directory is empty. I right-click on it. Obviously, TortoiseSVN is installed on my machine. I'm going to go to the TortoiseSVN, and I'm going to create a repository here, which is in this thing called an archive. So I do, and let me drag this over. This popped up on my other window. So when I did this, this thing opens up and it says, well, you can see in the archive it created some directories. I'm going to create a folder structure, which I think will make a little more sense once you run it. So I'm going to click that, and I say OK. Normally I don't bother with the Start Repo Browser, but since this is a learning thing, I'll go ahead and do that. Let me see if I can shrink it down so you can see the whole thing. So it basically opens the thing up, and this is what an archive will look like. Let's see if I can get it into the window. There we go. All right, so the archive looks something like this, and when I created the directory structures, it created these things called branches, tags, and trunks. Typically, your code is going to go into the trunk, but right now it's all empty. But that's what the archive is, and this is where it is. That's what the SVN archive looks like. Okay, so I'm going to say OK. I'm out of here. Then say OK there. All right. The next thing that you want to do is to include your files into the archive. What I normally do is create an archive for each project that I'm working on. So anyway, what I'll do is I come over here to this, where the code is that I want to put into an archive, and I right-click on this thing, and I go to the TortoiseSVN, and I want to import. So if you notice, I've got SPI selected. I go up here, I right-click, go up here, and I say import. So let me drag this guy over. Okay, so this thing pops up. Here is the archive that I'm going to import into. And so this is the, I'm importing into an archive branches. I don't want to go into branches. I'm not sure why I brought branches up. Maybe I was, the last thing I had selected or something. I'm going to type in trunk. Normally it comes up trunk. I don't know why it's not doing that. If you hit the dots, it'll let you, select through this thing. I guess maybe that's what I should have done instead of typing trunk. Okay, anyway, so I've got the trunk set up. Here you want to always remember to put in a message so that you can keep track of what it is that's in the archive. And here I'm just going to be, this is the initial import of the files, whatever note you want. There are some files that are ignored. You just say, I don't want to keep track of these things, and those are ignored files. I'm not sure why you'd want to include them, but anyway, whatever. And then you hit OK, and this window, comes swinging by. I just drug it over here, and it is telling you what it's doing. It's adding all of these files, blah, 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 all these things up here. And we're now at revision 2. So I say, okay, thank you very much. So nothing is happening. If you look in the SPI, nothing has changed here. In the archive, it doesn't look like anything has changed, but it has. If you go into here and you click on right-click TortoiseSVN, you do the Repo Browser. This window comes up and it says, well, you want to browse? Yeah, sure, I'd like to browse this guy. And up it comes, and if you remember before, it was empty, right? But now I've got the files that I had here. I've got this X directory. You can scroll down, you can see what's inside the X directory. So it's added things to it, and that was what happened when I imported it. So the archive has changed, but the SPI hasn't. Okay, so the next thing that you want to do is you want to begin to track these changes. So what you normally do with this, and I'm going to create a new folder, and we're going to call it SPI tracked. All right, so here's SPI tracked. It's selected. I'm going to right click on the thing, and what I do is I'm going to check out from the archive this thing, and again, you can use your dots. Yeah, this is what I want to check out. I want to check out the trunk. Boom. Okay, and where do you want to put it on? Well, SPI tracked is what was selected, so that's what goes in here, but you can change it. You can click on here and you can browse and whatever you want to do. All right. But anyway, so that's where I want it. And then you can select which revision. Here I only have 2 revisions, but just to show you what happens, if you want to track these things, you have revision 1, which would be empty. It'd be stupid to try to check that one out, or number 2. So as you go along, you're going to get multiple versions. The most current one is called the head, and so I'm just going to exit from here. And so you'd say, well, normally you'd want the head, so you're going to pull this thing down. You say okay, and it tells you that it's adding this to your directory. So if you say okay, you look down here, and all the files are here. Okay. So what you want to do, since you're working as teams, you probably want to have one archive that everybody uses, and then when you make changes, you go to the archive, you pull those things down, you check out a copy, you make whatever changes you want, and then you put it back in, a newer version in the archive. But anyway, so let me show you how this thing works. So one of the things that's nice about this is you check this out. Nothing has been done, right? So for example, if you come in here and right click and you say you want to commit, which means send my changes to the archive, it'll come back and give you this guy which says nothing's changed, right? No files were changed. So I'm gonna cancel that. Bang. All right. But now let's just go in here and let's change something. So I'm gonna pull up an editor, something like this. And I should have used a bigger window, but anyway, so I'm gonna make a change. Okay, I'm going to change a 41 right there, and then save it. Bam, and exit from here. I think you see there's a little exclamation point there indicating that that file's been changed. Let's open up this guy, and we'll make a change in this one. We'll put an SPII, boom, something like that. Exit, save it, bang. And so it's been changed. Okay, so I make some changes. I'm through for the day. It works, it doesn't work, whatever. I'm going to right click on this thing. I'm going to go to the commit. And when I do, it comes in and it says, these are the things that changed. Now, one of the things I like to do, especially if I've been working on it for a long time, it's 5 o'clock. I don't remember what I did at 10 o'clock in the morning, right? And so what I like to do is I like to double click these things, and up pops a window that compares these things for me, right? So here's this double click, and it shows you that you've changed something on this line, right? And what did you change? Oh, it used to say SPI, and now it says SPII. So you can spot the changes real quick and you go, oh yes, that's right, I remember making that change now. And you do it for, I do it for all the files that come up. So I double click that one, and it has, the changes that I've made. And so what I like to do is I like to look at all these things and say, oh yes, that's right, I did make that change, didn't I? And then what I'll do is I'll put a change in here. These, something indicate what it was I did. These are dumb changes I made. Okay, and you type whatever you want to, and you can say okay. So boom and bang, we're at revision 3. So we say okay. Now, the other thing that you do is you'll come in here and let's go into the Repo Browser like we did before, or you can show log, you can do a graph, whatever it is. Repo Browser. And now what I've got is I've got these guys, and this file here, bitbang SPI is version 3, the bitbang.h is version 3, and the SPI main is version 2. So changes have been made. If you want to look at the log file to try to figure out what happened, you can go in here and you can say view log. There it is, show log. And then the log shows up, and take a look at it and you say, oh yeah, I remember, yeah, those are dumb changes I made. Oh, maybe you want to go back to version 2. Maybe version 3 didn't work, and so you want to dump it. You probably don't want to delete it, maybe, but maybe you want to, go back to version 2. So if you want, you can go in here and you can say update TortoiseSVN. If you say update, it will bring in the most recent, the head. Right, so if multiple people are working on it, then you probably just want to update to the head, pull in all the changes that your buddy did last night, and then take off from there. The other thing that you can do is you can update to a revision, a specific revision like this. And so it says, well, what version do you want to go back to? And so, I don't remember, but I'll click show the log and go, oh yeah, that's the version I want, that one right there. And if I say okay, what it'll do is it will replace the version 3 files with version 2 files. Yeah, might as well do it. Okay, so we'll say okay, and bingo, and we're back at revision 2. So if you want to see that in fact happened, open up this guy, and you can see that the II is gone. So I'm back to revision 2. Open up this guy, and I forget where I made the change. I think it was right here, 41. That's back to 4 like it was before. If you go over here and right click and you say commit, it will say nothing's been changed because you're back at revision 2. Okay, and you say, oh no, I made a mistake, I really wanted revision 3. Okay, well that's no problem, just go to TortoiseSVN. If I went to update, boom, that'd do it right away. But we'll do update to revision like we did before. We'll say show the log and go, oh yeah, see what's here right now, see it's bold. What's in that directory right now is version 2. Oh, that's right, I did a update to revision 2. Yeah, I tell you what, I want revision 3 now. So I'll double click that, say okay, and I'm going to go back to revision 3. I say okay, it says got it, and then come down here, open this guy up, and you can see I've got the II back. So you can go back to whatever revision you want. Again, oh, I forgot what revision that is. Okay, fine. I go to here, and I go to Repo Browser. I think is that what I was doing? Oh, a revert. No, revert means throw everything away. I want to go back to where I was. Yeah, update to revision. There we go. And we'll show the log, and whoop, yay, what do you know, revision 3 is bold. Ah, that's right, this was revision 3 that I was working on. So anyway, you can keep track of this, and that's how you, the basics. Whoops, I should probably say cancel or something. Oh well. And then you can run multiple copies, so you could create another folder and check out into a new folder. You have multiple versions, you can do comparisons, whatever it is that you need to do. Be careful of this archive because it is a kind of a binary thing. You want to make sure you don't edit that. Just use the TortoiseSVN to do whatever you need to. Okay, that's should be good for that. And that's it, TortoiseSVN.